Are you new to San Francisco? Are you thinking about moving to San Francisco? If you are, you came to the right video. You know what you gotta do. Get extra to have extra. Cue the video. Welcome back to the Bay Area's go-to YouTube channel for all things Bay Area real estate. My name is Derek Langfield, Agent Extra, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video. You can also comment down below for future videos that you want to see. If you're thinking about moving to the area, whether it's from another part of the Bay Area or out of state, we cover all things East Bay Area specifically and San Francisco. So feel free to text me, call me, shoot me a carrier pigeon, email me. My contact information is right down here. Now, let's get into it. What are the things that you must do in San Francisco? Whether you're short-term here and you're renting and you're exploring and you're thinking about buying here, or you're moving for out of state, these are the things you must do while in San Francisco. You know, I was gonna put this list in order, but it's just too difficult. I want you guys to pick the order. Comment down below and put what your favorite thing to do is in San Francisco for anybody that's been and done some of these things. I will put it in numerical order, but it's not necessarily my favorite, but I love all of these things. And I did take a poll and these were the most popular. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Number one, the hikes in the parks. Hiking in the parks in San Francisco is almost second to none. What are some of the most popular? Dolores Park, of course. Dolores Park is set in a beautiful area against a backdrop of downtown San Francisco. It is amazing, especially on a clear day, but it does get crowded. So pick your days and your times wisely. Weekends are most popular and it gets extraordinarily crowded. Now you can go to Golden Gate Park. It's a little bit more spread out. It's also the more versatile park. It's massive. You can paddle boat there. You can hike, you can bike, you can walk, you can run. It's an amazing park. It's a little bit more spread out than Dolores though. Now, if you're talking about hiking, Twin Peaks is always an uphill kind of battle that you can go to. Twin Peaks give you a bird's eye view of the whole city, but you must go to Land's End. Land's End is amazing. Check out Sutro Bass. Sutro Bass was a saltwater pool complex built in the late 1800s. It burned down in the late 60s, so now it lies in ruins. But it's an amazing vibe. You must check it out to go there. It's very peaceful and serene. It's right in the Land's End part of the city. While you're hiking there, check out Sutro Bass. Number two, the California Academy of Sciences. The California Academy of Sciences is a great place to be. You're going to get educated there, but my favorite part about it is Thursday nights. Thursday nights turns to a little bit more adult-friendly vibe. They serve alcohol. Now with the pandemic, they're doing it virtually. So every Thursday night, it's held virtually until at least 2021, but obviously we don't know what's going to happen with this pandemic. And this goes for all things in this video, guys. Times, the activities, everything is going to be affected based on the pandemic, the lockdown, things that's currently going on in 2020. Now, if you're like me and you love to laugh, San Francisco has some world-renowned comedy clubs, such as Cobb's Comedy Club and The Punchline. I've seen a ton of major stand-up comedians there, guys that are world famous. It's a great environment. They also have some comedy clubs that are on the smaller scale, such as the Secret Improv Society. The Secret Improv Society is not as worldly famous as Cobb's or The Punchline, but they do have comedy shows there that are like the show Whose Line Is It Anyway, where it's all improv comedy. The best part about it is if you guys want to test your own comedy chops, you can take some of their online classes as well. Again, guys, a lot of this stuff has kind of changed during the pandemic, so they do have virtual stand-up shows. Check out their website. I'll link it below. It's a great place to check out. Let's talk about number 4 and 5. We have to throw some holiday spirit in there, right? Because we are backed up against the holidays here. I wanted to make sure that you guys know about it. We're kind of this West Coast version of New York, right? So there is ice skating. You could go down to the Embarcadero or you could go to Union Square and ice skate, and these ice skating venues are amazing. We're talking about city views, great atmosphere. Again, check it out online to make sure of dates and times and the restrictions based off the lockdown, because it seems like these things change daily. So I want to make sure that you guys know that at the time of the video, something may be true, but a couple hours later or a day later, it may change because things in California are changing rapidly. Now, let's talk about Broadway shows. We're going to talk about Broadway shows in 2021, not 2020, even though in 2020 they had some, or 2019 I would say, and prior to the pandemic, before we got shut down in 2020, they had some great shows. We're talking about The Lion King, we're talking about Hamilton was a huge one, but coming in 2021 they have some great ones, again subject to the pandemic. In 2021 you have some great plays coming to San Francisco. Some right off the Hollywood screen, like Frozen and Mean Girls. You also have My Fair Lady, To Kill a Mockingbird, but you also have one that I'm particularly excited about, and that's Ain't Too Proud, and it's the Temptation story. I grew up on 50s and 60s music. I'm very familiar with it. My parents used to always play 50s, 60s, and 70s music, and I love the Temptations. I cannot wait to go see this play. Now let's talk about the one that everybody wants to talk about. Again, it's not in order as far as favorites, but it is in numerical order. So in numerical order number 6 is the food. San Francisco is world renowned for the different types of food that we have, from the culture and the tradition to the flavors, the restaurants, the hole in the wall places. San Francisco has some amazing food options. Some of my favorite districts and neighborhoods to go eat is Soma, Hayes Valley, of course the Mission District, and you can also eat your way through the Ferry Building, because the Ferry Building has some crazy amount of food selections. Now, let's talk about the Mission District. If you're in the Mission District, of course you got to go to taquerias, right? You can go to Taqueria Cancun, Pancho Villa, La Taqueria. There are so many different taquerias, and I don't think you could go wrong in the Mission District with a good taqueria. You also have Yama, which is a Burmese restaurant. Counter service, quick in and out. Their noodles are fantastic. Now, I don't think it's as well known as the taquerias yet, because it used to be a pop-up restaurant, but now it's permanent, is Lazy Bear. So when you go into Lazy Bear in the Mission District, before the pandemic, you used to mingle upstairs and have a bunch of snack foods and appetizers, and then they would bring you down where you sit at big group tables and explore their menu. It was an amazing vibe and atmosphere. But again, 2020 kind of changed all that, so look out in 2021. Hopefully they're back in action. Let's make our way through the Ferry Building and Hayes Valley. In the Ferry Building, you have Hog Island Oyster Company. You also have the Mariposa Baking Company, and one of my favorites, Delucia, which is Japanese fusion cuisine with California local ingredients. We're talking salads and bento boxes. Primo. Now, as we go to Hayes Valley, you have some amazing eateries. In Hayes Valley, you have Survia's, home of the $14 salad, right? In San Francisco, there's a ton of expensive salads, but this one may actually be worth it. You can get your chicken sando or your lamb sandwich. They're amazing. And I know you like boba tea. So if you gotta get some boba tea, stop at Urban Ritual in Hayes Valley. Now, our two last places on the map for good eats in San Francisco are Soma and North Beach. In Soma, one real place you have to go to, and that's the Soma food trucks. I'm just gonna leave it at there because the food trucks vary. You can spend a couple hours there trying everything. In North Beach is home of the pizza in San Francisco. You have to get pizza in North Beach. You can go to Golden Boy, you can go to Tony's, you can go to Cesaro's. Any of those places are fantastic for pizza. Now, if you want a weekend brunch special, go to Don Pistos. Don Pistos has weekend brunch specials. They primarily serve Mexican cuisine. It's fantastic. Our last 3 things on the must-do list in San Francisco. Now, a lot of these are touristy places. A lot of the locals don't do it. But before I lived in San Francisco, I would come do these things, and they have a special place in my heart. So I'm pretty sure you know what these are. They're world renowned. You must do them at some point in your life. One of them is go visit Pier 39. Pier 39 has a bunch of shops and restaurants you can go to. It's right there on a pier. It's the most popular place. You can visit the sea lions. You can go to Bubblegum Shrimp. I watched Forrest Gump probably like 40-50 times. I had to go to Bubblegum Shrimp, but Pier 39 is a great family time out. And you can also go do boat tours. There's a few different options for boat tours in San Francisco. You can cruise around Alcatraz, you can go under the bridges of Golden Gate and the Bay Bridge, go by the San Francisco Giants Stadium. Whatever your choice is, make it a good one and make sure you wear a jacket because it does get cold on the water. I have linked some boat tour options down below. Check those out. Check out the 1 hour boat tour. It's one of my favorites. Last but not least, my favorite place in San Francisco. Again, it's usually for tourists. I know some locals that's been in San Francisco all their life and never gone to it, but you have to go see The Rock. Go visit Alcatraz, take their night tour. Alcatraz is amazing. I love everything about Alcatraz. If it was up to me, I would build a hotel on Alcatraz and stay there. I've seen every movie, a lot of documentaries, everything about the Alcatraz Island I love. So make sure you do that at some point. I even encourage the locals to do it, even though I know most likely they won't. That's it for items you have to do in San Francisco. My name is Derek Langfield, Agent Extra. Again, if you have real estate questions, reach out to me, text me, email me, call me. My number's down below. We'll talk soon. Have a great day.